Gambling with Souls. Time to talk about another melodrama film that had like a taboo subject matter and stuff like that. This one was from 1936. It starring Martha Chaplin, Wheeler Bachman, and Bryant Washburn. And it was written and produced by J.D. Kendis and directed by Elmer Clifton. He's also done Winner Takes All, High Speed, The Midnight Man, The Bride of the Colorado, and a whole pile of others. He has like 50 films to his credit from like 1930 to like 1950 something. So, yeah. Gambling with Souls was an interesting little melodrama of you follow a housewife who is doesn't have very much money, but she gets hooked on gambling. She gets the winning streak going. She's winning big, and she gets hooked onto it, which is quite common even nowadays for people to get addicted to gambling and stuff. And basically, once she spent all her money and she's $10,000 in debt, they cut her off. And now the owner of the casino basically gets her to tricks her into going into doing prostitution type deals to pay off her debt, and she has to hide it from her husband, who's also finally who's an aspiring surgeon who's just getting notified, like getting recognized and stuff for a new brain surgery operation. He has to go, so she has to hide it from him and try to get it done quickly as possible. This film was a little bit of a slow burn. It's definitely different than what I was expecting. I find a lot of these like taboo type films in the 40s and stuff, especially when it's sexual related, has to do people getting forced into prostitution. I guess that was a big fear back then. It was probably big money back then too. Um, I guess prostitution's always a big money thing, but yeah. That seems to be the common occurrence with these type of films. Now, this one, like the acting was okay. Um, the story was really slow. It took a while to build up and stuff, and overall, it wasn't that great. It was very basic and generic, and there's not much to very to grasp on. Like it's very predictable, and but it made its point, I think, at least. But there's not much to it. Like I was hoping for like a little more like the husband was a little more like finding out more about what's going on, and then it makes it a little more edgier, or that she ends up slipping up and tells the husband or something like that. But none of that actually happens. It kind of just slowly flies by, and it just things just start happening, and it was pretty dull for a film. I was not huge into this film at all. I got pretty bored throughout most of it, and it wasn't definitely wouldn't hold up nowadays. It's a little bit cheesy and ridiculous in some parts too. Um, the way that like she gets like tricked into doing it and stuff was not really realistic enough. And yeah, this is definitely one that's probably gonna get lost to time as well, just like the other one I talked about in the last video. But Gambling with Souls was a pretty cheesy mess, I thought. I wasn't a huge fan of it, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it really to anybody. Um, but yeah, it was definitely something odd to see in that. But you win some, you lose some, right? Not every movie's great. So yeah, Gambling with Souls, I'm gonna give this one a 1 out of 5. There's not really much to talk about because there's not much going on. Just basically, it's basically what I just told you. So yeah, Gambling with Souls, don't worry about it. Waste of time. Don't waste your time watching it. Yeah. But if it's something that might sounds that it might interest you, I'll try to find a clip or a trailer or even the full film and link it down below. And also make sure you check out my Instagram where I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my story. So make sure you follow me there. And I usually have the title of the film and hashtag somewhere in the video clip, and the subgenre of films in there too. So if you're aware of it, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. Stay in the loop. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you've seen it. I'd love to hear what you thought of it. And yeah, if you have any films that you want to hear my opinions on, at all in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my hardest to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. Make sure you like this video, share it so more people are aware of it, and make sure you subscribe because you never know what I'm going to talk about next. I only have one more taboo film, and then we're getting out of the black and white era and going back to the modern films for a little while. So, yeah. But, yeah, Gambling with Souls wasn't a disappointment. Hopefully this last one's a little more interesting. I find most of these films are a little dated now, so, but they're still amusing sometimes. So, till the next one, cheers.